My name is Grant. My name is Grant Widmer. I'm one of the guitar players and singers of Generationals, and this is Ted.
I'm Ted Joyner. I'm the other guitarist and singer.
And when we play shows, we play with 5 people at least. And our drummer is Justin Stenz. Our bass player is Preston Wittenberg. And our keyboardist is Vaughn Daigle. And they're out getting the van. It's fun. We didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, Jazz Fest was fun. We'd both been grown up going to Jazz Fest, but neither of us had ever played it. And it was really hot, but it was really fun.
Maybe it should have been, but no, we just kind of did basically, the same songs that we've been doing on the tour, or exactly the same songs. So, if there was supposed to be some kind of a way to kind of localize it or something, we didn't do it. But I don't know. I thought it went okay. It's certainly not the main, the typical kind of sound that you hear at at Jazz Fest, but
I think Jazz Fest is evolving too.
Yeah.
Like the audience, is getting maybe younger, or it's kind of just evolving. Probably like every festival does, because it's certainly not strictly jazz or even regional heritage music anymore. It hasn't been for a while. It's all kinds of stuff now, and so we probably are like short 3-minute pop songs. Maybe seemed kind of like not the format for Jazz Fest, but Jazz Fest itself is sort of like redefining itself anyway. So we didn't stick out like total sore thumbs. It was cool. Yeah, I'd say our best mutual friend, Ian Neville, he comes from like a musical family. So when we were really young, we'd be going to shows like the Meters, were a really important New Orleans band. So I think there was always music, even when we were really young, and like one of our best friend's dads did music as his job. So we definitely had that in common. That I think was something that made us feel like maybe you can grow up and do music, and then just not just be a lawyer, doctor, or insurance guy. You can maybe be a musician. And aside from that, I mean, New Orleans is like a very music-oriented city, but we were both into like the same kind of music. When we were 14 or whatever, when we met, which was like like Beatles and Nirvana.
Well, I think we didn't get into a band that really started to think about touring and stuff until we were maybe 21 or 22, so significantly later. And at that point, it just seemed like a lot more fun than whatever the rest of the kids in our age group were doing, like studying for school or or like grad school or doing stuff like that. So that was kind of an easy decision for us. Now they're all rich and have like nice houses and stuff. So, but I don't think it ever occurred to me on any one time that this is just going to be what we're doing forever. So I think some point around the end of we were in a band previously called the Eames Era, and we recorded a couple of albums and an EP. And by the time we got towards the end of that, the last album that we made, I think really sunk into me that the process of recording albums is something that I enjoyed more than anything else by far, and I could really see myself trying to do whatever I could, whether it be to take, any kind of side jobs I could take just to be able to afford to continue to play music and make more records. So, yeah, I remember kind of feeling like that record made me feel like I will do whatever I really need to do to continue to be able to do this.
I don't remember a specific conversation. I think it was like our last tour together. I remember coming off that tour and going, "This went so great! Like we made so much progress," and everyone else was saying, "This went so bad. This is time to not do this anymore." I mean, it really was not like a bad vibes or anything. Like they went off and did other stuff, and that was totally cool. But I remember just like their mindset and mine had like diverged so much to where like I was just now starting to come around to go, yeah, we can just keep doing this. This is starting to work. And I think for them, just it just wasn't happening fast enough, or
There certainly wasn't ever one moment that anybody ever said, this is terrible, or just like, this is my breaking point. I think it was a slow process of just kind of coming to terms with what kind of vision you have for where you see yourself in a year or 2 years, and then you kind of try to reconcile that against the way that it looks like things are going for you. And it's definitely not for everyone. It's kind of like, I certainly can't blame anybody for coming to the conclusion that it's a fun thing to do, but not like for life. So we spent a lot of our energy towards the end of the band trying to like do our best to keep the positive sort of energy going and momentum going in the band. But at the end of the day, it's just impossible, or not impossible, but extremely difficult to keep a 5-member band, just everybody kind of like full-time employed doing music. So it certainly wasn't like a shock or anything to us that it just wasn't sustainable long term. But that said, we were still composing and writing songs at the same pace that we had throughout the life of that band. So it was a natural impulse for us to just try to find a new outlet for the new stuff we were writing, which is where this sort of band started.
Yeah,
definitely. I think definitely. I think a good handful of the songs on the first record were pieces and parts of things that would definitely have been the next group of songs for that band, which is odd because we hadn't sung really almost anything for that band, so we would a lot of times write lyrics and melodies for the singer, who was much, much better and with a much bigger range. So it was a difficult process to kind of learn how to write melodies that we could sing, and that we're still getting better at that. But after having worked for maybe 4 or 5 years at writing melodies for another singer, it was hard to reprogram ourselves to write the vocals for ourselves and the melodies. But beyond that, those were definitely seeds of songs that would have probably been the next record of that band. Yeah.